Welcome to the Empowered Podcast with Deanna Merlino, a personal development show where I will be sharing with you just how to transform yourself into the best version of you, both inside and out. From fitness and nutrition to business and positive mindset work, I'll be showing you exactly how to live your best life. I'll be keeping it as real and raw as it gets. So get ready to peel back the layers and really transform yourself under the surface, because nothing is better than finding your purpose and living this life as your true, authentic self. Okay, empowered listeners, by now you have likely heard me talking about my retreat, and maybe it has gotten your wheels turning that you are interested in joining. If it has, I encourage you to take this time for yourself to dive deeper into your spirituality and to continue the journey of nourishing your soul and getting to know its divine calling. Step into the empowered, expressive human that you are meant to be and release what no longer serves you to call in abundance and step into that new version of yourself that you desire to be. Your transformation will begin through daily movement medicine, followed by healing integration sessions, transformational breathwork, tailored meditations, sound healing, Reiki, and so much more. Experience an intentional private nature getaway and enjoy cozy rustic lodging, deep bonding, nourishing meals, and adventure in the beautiful woodsy hills near Ellicottville, New York. If you have been feeling called to take your healing and spirituality deeper, this retreat is for you. You can find more information by visiting the website in my show notes, or feel free to DM me on Instagram. Our next retreat is August 26th to 28th, and we truly hope to see you there. Welcome back, my empowered fam. So last week, we talked a little bit about just health-related things, and this is going to also be related, but turning back more to that internal work and your mindset and healing and all the things. And I've been doing a ton of work on myself. Everything I talk about, I practice what I preach. I do the meditating, I do the journaling, I do the yoga and the movement and the sound healing and all the things. And my retreat that I've been talking about was definitely like a shifting point for me. I slowed down a lot. I was much more at peace. I was just far more loving to everything. And I just have been continuously incorporating the things that I experienced there, sound healing and listening to breathwork sessions. And all of those things have gotten me to where I am right now. And I've done a lot on my own. Prior, like a long time ago, I invested in this lady, Roseanne, who I talked about, and she gave me daily energetic protection practices that I need to do every single day. So it's some visualizations that I do to make sure that I am protected from any darkness, any low vibrational energy, any negativity, anything that is naturally around us. And also being what I would call a light worker, someone who purpose is to bring light and love and healing. And that's what I'm all about. It targets me a little more because this is a new download for me. The best I can explain this is people who are unaware, people who aren't taking care of themselves in all the ways. It's easy for those things to attach to. Think of someone who is always negative, always down, always, woe is me. That energy is just perpetuating and creating more of that reality. And it's like a feedback. It's like a feedback loop over and over and over again, because that energy is just stuck to them and they're stuck in that energetic way of being. And I have made it my entire mission to be the opposite of that. And so because of that, I'm a little harder to bring down, and it's almost like a fun game. Like, hey, let's go after the girl with the light. So I have to work really hard on keeping myself protected. And I started to feel like I was plateauing a little bit. It just felt like I was doing all the things, but I still wasn't up leveling at the same speed that I was. I wasn't having these big, massive breakthroughs as much. And I knew something was keeping me stagnant. I knew something was holding me back. I just couldn't figure it out on my own. And it wasn't long after I had that thought or that realization that I was scrolling on Facebook, which I'm never on. And I saw an ad and it said, "The Healer's Healer." And I was reading the thing, and it was like, come into my healing container for 10 days for free. Also, let me just say, so this healer's name is Madeline Eve. And I did her 10-day container, which you get into what she calls the sanctuary, which I love. And it's a very powerful, energetic container where she multiple times a week will do healings on us. And then you get to do a free one-on-one session with her. And then she has healings consistently that you can access at any time in this container. And I have signed up for many free things. I am still mind blown by the amount of free content that she provided. It was just like one thing after another, free meditations, free this, free that, super, super amazing stuff. And I have to say that I was blown away by everything about her. Her voice, I'm a big voice person. This is super odd. I don't know if there's anyone else out there like this. I even remember when I met my husband that I was like, I like his voice. Super strange. Anytime I've ever mentioned that, I've never had anyone say that that's a thing. Anyhow, Madeline, her voice is just so calming and like, I'm very ramped up, energetic, full of life. And she is just like nice and easy, like a flowing stream. And it just made me feel at peace. And I instantly connected with her. And I was like, this is what I need. I need that peace. And on that note, I've been working really hard on balancing my energy. So this is kind of a newer concept to me. And it might be, your first time hearing about this. All energy is masculine and feminine, and it has nothing to do with gender. Completely nothing to do with gender. It's just different characteristics. Like being in a masculine energy is more like analytical thinking, being very protective. Sometimes, depending on if it's in a healthy or not healthy state, very aggressive, very dominant, thinking in a way that like when I do my work, I'm very systematical. I'm very by the book. I put specific things into place. Whereas in feminine energy, you're very go with the flow, slow. It's more about receiving than giving, and just very much like knowing that you're going to give it to the universe and it's going to come back and you don't have to do anything for it. I very much so run in a more masculine energy, and it made a ton of sense once I realized that. And so I've been working really hard on balancing those energies and knowing that, and it all ties in. You've heard me talk about it before. My human design is projector, and my thing as a projector is that I want to work really hard. I want to help everybody. I give everyone my advice. And when it's not taken or received or followed, I am both sad or disappointed that they didn't do it, because I'm like, I'm trying to help you. And I've realized that unless someone says, I want your help, it is not my place to offer that. So I'm very understanding of that now. And also knowing, like, the biggest thing for me is it's like, you will be successful when you stop working so hard, when you relax, when you rest more, when you play more, and things will just automatically come to you. So it's my biggest pitfall, because I don't run that way. I run in that masculine, work really hard, go as fast as you can, go as hard as you can. I have to work really hard in order to be successful. That's that limiting belief that I talked about and that I have worked on. And so after I did that, I really shifted into, I am going to float around in that feminine energy. Well, what happened was, because I have been, and Madeline told me this, because I've been running masculine for so long, it was almost like my body went offline. It was like, you're finally going to slow down? Great. Well, we have so much and so long to make up for. We're going to do nothing. And normally I would be like, heck no, I've got stuff to do. I'm wasting time. Gotta go. All the things, right? But it felt really good. So I'm like, this is great. I'm going to do nothing. And some more nothing. And some more nothing. And before I knew it, I had lost all motivation to do anything. And I was like, what is happening? Because I knew it wasn't me. I knew that's just like that's not my jam. That's not how I roll. I've got stuff to do. And while I want to be balanced, this wasn't it. So that's when I came across her. I had this call with her. We had our one-on-one call. And she said, what are some things that you are nervous about, some things where you feel like your downfalls at, some things that you're dealing with. And I told her that I've been working on my masculine and feminine energy balance, and I was currently just like a lazy bum in my standards. And she literally laughed and she's like, it's so normal. Like when you run so much the other way, your body just kind of is like, we're going to check out for a while. And so she helped me to rebalance that. And literally, I'm not joking, in an instant, I had all this energy flowing back through me. And so I'm going to be honest, I don't know a ton about the in-depth of the energies, the masculine, feminine. Like there's a lot to it. There's different types. It's very yin and yang. And so I would actually love to get someone who is in that field to come and talk about that, share with you guys, because it's very important. But again, even with what she does, it's out of my realm. It's not what I do. I am a healer. I help people heal, but she works in the quantum realm. She works with like alchemical healing and alchemizing energy. And that was very foreign to me, even though I'm very much in this spiritual journey, in this path. I had no idea what it meant, but I felt so safe with her and was so blown away by her content and all of her freebies that I was like, yes, I want to, go past this free trial and invest in her as a coach for myself, because I just noticed so much shifts. And so as that call continued, I'll just go over kind of what happened. So she was like, you have some darkness, some heaviness that is attached to both your heart space and your solar plexus. And she was talking about someone I had come across online who they were a healer. And just because someone is a healer doesn't mean that they know everything. It does not mean that they're a right fit for you. It does not mean that their way is the only way. Like, I cannot stress this enough, and I say it all the time: do your research and do what feels right for you. What truly feels right. Your intuition knows. And I came across this lady's stuff and it sent me spiraling. I'm not even going to talk about what it was about because it literally affected me so deeply. But for like a week, I was in an existential crisis, like not knowing what to do with myself. And I brought it up to her and she was like, I am going to completely clear her from your body. Like she just invoked so much negativity inside of me. It was like holding me down. So she cleared that, cleared her, cleared any like karmic tie that I had to her, instantly felt great. And then she was like, have you had any health things going on? And it was right after, like a couple days after that heart episode that I had, which is also why I got a coach. Like I want to be healthy in all ways. And I told her what happened. And she was like, kind of figured, because your heart is wrapped in severe layers of fear. And she said, well, I'm not saying that there are medical things going on. So definitely, keep down that path. Whether this was from that episode or whether this was, linked to causing that episode, she said, you have so much fear in your heart. So she cleared that again, instantly felt amazing. And then she's like, do you have nightmares? Do you have scary stuff happen to you? And I'm like, why, yes, I do all the time. Wait for it, guys. Just wait, right? So she goes, you have a giant, dark, evil portal vortex thing in your bedroom and is letting darkness in at will whenever it pleases. And so everything made one, that was terrifying. I was absolutely terrified. But also, so she got rid of it. She disintegrated it. She said it can't come back. She had said either it had already been in the house or I don't know, someone could have done some dark stuff towards me. But I've always been afraid of this house from time we've been here. Before I was even down this path, I always said to my husband, I'm like, this place is freaking haunted. There was always stuff happening. It just always felt creepy. I always felt like someone was around. And every day, like I mentioned, I do these energetic practices to protect myself and my family. And it was always very short-lived. Like I would feel it was almost like it was expiring. It wasn't lasting. It wasn't permanent. I've saged my house. I use Palo Santo almost daily. Both things are very protective. And it didn't matter. And so now I know why, because that friggin' scary hellhole literally was not only in my house, in my bedroom. which is so scary, so creepy. And I asked, like, how do I prevent this from happening again? And she just said, just know that it's gone. Don't dwell on it. Don't think about it. Don't give it energy. Just stay in that light place. Stay in that positive place. Stay in that doing all of my daily protection work. And just know, because I'm very knowledgeable about protective practices. She's like, now that has been cleared, you are like golden. Like nothing is going to touch you now. Nothing is going to slow you down. Nothing is going to hold you back. Nothing is draining your energy. And since then, I don't have nightmares, which is like an absolute game changer. I sleep through the night, other than if my child wakes up. And I cannot stress to you guys enough, I was not sleeping. I was not getting enough sleep. I was having terrible sleep. I got to the point where I was so afraid of these very vivid, very lucid, very real nightmares that I would literally fight sleep. I would not go to sleep until 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning because we had to wait until I was physically exhausted to go to sleep. That's how scary it was. And another thing that I learned was because they couldn't really do anything to me during the day and in person, those dark energies were attacking while I was sleeping. So I'm telling you all of this because it is so important that you hire a coach if you are unknowing of how to, protect yourself. If you are feeling stagnant, if you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling called to any of this, if you are very, especially being an empath, I feel everything. So I am very much more sensitive to energies around me all the time. Another thing that I learned was like when you drink really heavily, because it just affects your consciousness, it's really easy for darkness to affect you. And it makes so much sense. Think of someone who gets extremely wasted and all of a sudden they're not themselves and they're doing things that the next day they literally regret. It's because it's literally not them. They're being tainted by these darker negative energies. You need to learn to protect yourself from this stuff. Again, research. I'm coming up with a coaching program. I will soon be there to help you all with that. If you are in the healing space already listening to this and you are looking for the healer's healer, I highly recommend her. She's fantastic. I'm telling you all of this because between the last 2 episodes, we talked about taking care of your health physically, and we always talk about taking care and rewiring your brain mentally. And I really want to make sure that I'm open and honest with you guys about taking care of yourself spiritually and protecting yourself from what's out there. I mean, the news. Stay away from the news as much as you can. It's very dark. It's very scary. And when you are living in that overwhelmed state, that fear state, it's easy to be affected by the stuff that's all around us, whether we want to believe it or not. So just have really good spiritual hygiene and do research to find more how to protect yourself from these things, and reach out to me because even though I haven't fully created my program, if you are interested, I'll make sure that I do help you because that is what I'm here for. I'm here to help everybody. So guys, just wanted to share where I have been, what has been going on with my health, with my up-leveling, with my business stuff, what I do to take care of myself as I take care of you all. And just trust your gut, trust your intuition, because it always knows. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day and an amazing week. As always, tag, share, post, subscribe, leave a review, all the things. I love you so much for it. And I hope you have an amazing day and an amazing week. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to find out more, you can follow me on Instagram at Empowered with Deanna and my personal page, Fit Deanna Lolita. You can also visit me on my website, which is deannamerlinofit.com. Make sure that whatever platform you guys are listening on, please rate and subscribe. And this means so much to me. It's going to help get me out there to help so many other people. I'm so grateful that you're here with me on this journey of wellness and self-empowerment. I cannot promise that it will always be easy, but I do know that it will always be worth it. Stick with me, and together, let's start living as the version of us that we were meant to be. Because the world is waiting for your gifts, and you deserve to live the life of your wildest dreams and beyond. So friends, let's get empowered.